All right, we are at Torreya State Park, which is just west of Tallahassee. And this is Jacob's first Boy Scout camping trip with Troop 15. And they set up their tent all by themselves. And this is my home for the weekend. I get to sleep by myself and see what I got going on in here. I have my Nemo sleeping pad. I'm using my quilt for the first time, which is my really nice quilt because it's going to be cold. And all my stuff over here. And so they're going to go hiking 10 miles today, and I brought Scarlett along, and I'm going to go bike and try not to get lost. Are y'all ready to go hike 10 miles? Mm-hmm. Yes? You've got lots of snacks?
Yep.
Lots of water? Full of energy?
I'm ready for a hike now.
Okay, y'all have fun. Be safe.
Stick.
So I am taking Scarlett out to explore and trying not to get lost. So we're leaving the state park, and I am just going to go ride a route that Graham created for me that's kind of close to here, but it's already not flat, so should be kind of fun. Little hill coming out of the park. But I have my Garmin in reach for when I do get, in case I get lost. So, definitely a couple big hills. Got my heart rate up a little, which is a lot of fun. Gears are skipping. But I'll get that taken care of before they're even gone. On the road, but in the middle of nowhere. Really is a perfect day to be out riding. As far as I know, I'm not lost because I'm still following my little map. So I'm going to go off course a little bit. I don't really know where this goes, but it looks pretty. And so I'm going to take it, see if I can get a few extra miles in. So this was a fun extra couple little miles of clay, except for my Garmin telling me to turn around. I think that Garmin needs to up their game, and instead of just beeping at you, start yelling at you. Say, this is not the right way. I imagine it was telling me, turn around, Florida woman. You're gonna get lost. This is not where you're supposed to be going. You're going off route. But it's a fun little detour. So when I set up my tent this morning, we were the first ones here, and I set up my tent over here in a nice spot. But then when all the Boy Scouts got here, they like set up their tents all around me, and I was surrounded. So it's kind of like, you buy this house and there's like no one around, and then a development comes and builds up all around you, and the next thing you know, you've got like all these people around you. And I was like in the center of all these Boy Scouts. So I scooched my tent over here. So now I've got my own little picnic table, and I have a few feet between me and them. Not much, but it's a little bit of space. And I tell you, the good thing about being a small person is in that little tent, I can stand up and change from biking clothes to running clothes. Although I didn't really bring running clothes, so I'm about to go run in my bike jersey. So I'm gonna go check out the trails and see what we can discover. So this is one of the loops around Torreya, and each loop is, I think, about 6 miles, and It's not flat for Florida. Really pretty so far. This is my first run since the 50K. Feels like I haven't ever run before. So I just did about 2.5 miles, and I'm cutting off the trail. You can see here on the map, maybe you can see here on the map, that I started back here and went all the way around to here. I'm going to cut through and head back because I didn't bring any water, and I'm trying to run in a bike jersey. So I didn't really think this through, but it's really a fun trail. I wanted to keep going on the loop, but I'm kind of thirsty, and so I'm gonna head back and come more prepared for this tomorrow or Monday. So you made 5 miles out of 10. How was it?
Painful, and I felt like I twisted my ankle, and I probably did.
I think you would know, because I have a twisted ankle, and and you know it. You don't think it, you know it. I like that shirt.
Then I do have twisted ankles on both of them.
On both of them?
Yes.
So how was the hike? Was it difficult?
Kind of bad.
There were like a lot of ravines that we had to jump over.
Was it
Also
fun?
mountains to scale.
Yeah.
Some mountains to scale, some Florida mountains.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That is extremely logical.
Yeah, it's not flat, is it?
Not exactly that much. And also, there were roots that were literally shaped like things that literally want to trip you.
Literally?
Yes.
You say that word a lot.
Yeah.
But was it fun? Did you eat snacks?
Yes.
All the snacks?
No, there's still a...
Do you have any Pringles? I could use some Pringles right now. You want to share some Pringles?
We still have a bag of Skittles.
That's
So
it?
I'm gonna eat it right now.
Did you eat the Pringles and the granola bar and the chocolate?
No, I'm saving that for tomorrow.
So after checking on the boys, I decided to go back out because I really have nothing else to do. But look at all these pretty white flowers. And there's so many little cutoff trails from the main trail to where I can add on a lot without going out and back. So this state park is pretty amazing so far. Tons of trails, hiking and running trails. Sorry boys, no biking trails. But tomorrow we do have Apalachicola National Forest to go biking through. Dinner time, so I am boiling me some water, and I am going to have some pad thai and some rice, some nor rice that I'm hoping Jacob will actually eat some of, my picky child, because they're over there cooking hot dogs.
Oh, they've already eaten.
And
Okay, as long as you had a wiener,
he's not going to eat a hot dog.
a hot dog.
So I got, look at that pretty sunset. So I got some rice. Hopefully he'll eat some rice. So I'm over here cooking my vegetarian food while they're making hot dogs. And watch the pretty sunset and the mosquitoes. Okay, so I'm doing a challenge this year with Mr. Matthew Yanko, whatever, to where we're doing 5 minutes of core. So I'm planking in my tent to make sure that I get my core in. And I'm watching the timer because it was freezing out there, but I'm already getting warm in here, planking with my sweatshirt on. So I still have a few more minutes, but I am getting my core workout in. I am in the middle of Apalachicola National Forest. So in case I don't get back to camp tonight, hopefully somebody finds this. I'm doing a route that Graham found for me because I haven't figured out how to do gravel routes yet. So I'm hoping this works out. It's only about 40 miles, 42 miles, because I was a little nervous about riding out here by myself with no cell signal, no idea where I'm going or where I am. So here's to a new adventure. So I've turned onto a side road, went from clay to dirt. I had to stop because I forgot to lock my phone and it started doing stuff. Started playing YouTube videos and I wasn't sure if I was making phone calls or buying stuff off Amazon, so I had to lock my phone. Not much wildlife yet. I was hoping to see something because there is nothing out here for miles and miles and miles, which is kind of cool to be able to ride in the middle of nowhere. I wish somebody would have told me to get a gravel bike sooner. It's pretty beautiful. So I haven't really seen any wildlife, but what I have seen are these ginormous ant beds. And it makes me think, they've been doing construction on 295 for years and years, but this ant bed was probably built in a couple hours. Queen Bee says, hey, build me a mansion, and the ants just build her this palace. And they're all along here. I just passed like 10 of these. These are ant ant apartments that have been built in hours, and yet it takes us years. It's probably because they haven't discovered nicotine. Ants can't smoke and take smoke breaks. Random thoughts in the middle of a national forest. So this has been my third, or maybe fourth, I don't know, third water crossing in the middle of the road. First one, I stopped to walk around and was like, oh, I could have made that. Second one, I was like, okay, well, I can get through this, and just sunk. So I have a little bit of mud on my tires. This one's pretty deep. I don't know how deep, but I'm not trying to go through it. So I'm going to go through this instead. Good times. So this is the way Garmin is telling me to go. But I went through all that, and it's just more of high brush. And it looks to be that it could be that way for a while. So I pulled out my map and thought, okay, maybe I can go this way and connect. Did that for a little bit, and it was just completely washed out for way too far for me to get through. So right now, my only option is to go back the way I came and hope I can remember. Gravel riding's fun. So I made it back to my car, and I didn't have to do much extra, only a few miles extra, because the road that I went out on, I was crossing and luckily realized it was the same road back. So it was maybe, instead of being another 30 miles back, I'm at 44 now, so I don't know. It ended up being about the same mileage I planned. So all ended well. Made a couple mistakes. The route that I had in my Garmin, I just trusted, and it was probably made before the hurricane destroyed some of this, and I should have, I don't know, double checked it or not trusted it so much. But the things I did right was I took a screenshot of where I was parked, which is off of a main road, and I had that in my phone so I could see exactly where I was. I also had this Garmin InReach with an SOS in case things really went bad, but with this I can contact my husband, I can contact emergency support even without cell service. So I also had tons of water. I had 2 bottles, and I had my Camelback, snacks, food. So I was prepared. The distance wasn't really the problem. It was just not knowing where I was. So all in all, fun gravel ride, riding out in the middle of nowhere by myself. Successful weekend. Going back to camp. I'm gonna eat lots of food. I may or may not run. And leaving in the morning. If you liked all of this, please subscribe.